Red Dead Redemption 2 provides an intricate exploration of life in the declining years of the American Wild West. One of the game's most compelling yet overlooked narratives is the deeply entrenched feud between the Braithwaite and Gray families. This feud, which unfolds dramatically in the game, serves as a microcosm for the broader themes of legacy, betrayal, and the relentless destruction caused by historical vendettas, and also serves as a turning point for the gang's eventual downfall. In this video, we will dive deep into the history of both the Braithwaite and Gray families, exploring the feud's historical context and the motivations behind each family's actions. If you enjoy videos like this one, please be sure to subscribe, as 99% of viewers have not done so. I appreciate all of your support. Now let's dive into the greatest blood feud in Red Dead Redemption 2. To understand this history of this feud, we must first go over the origins of both families and their relationship to one another. Originating from England, the Braithwaite family arrived in America by 1799 and quickly established a formidable slave-operated plantation. They cultivated a veneer of genteel southern aristocracy, obscuring their ruthless ascent to power. Originally from Scotland, the Gray family's origin is steeped in historical conflict and escape. Ross Gray, originally a supporter of the British Crown during the Jacobite uprisings, where Scottish loyalists were hunted down and killed. Ross turned informant against his own people. For his betrayal, he was rewarded by the Duke of Cumberland with money, land, and livestock taken from his neighbors he had betrayed. Facing deadly reprisals from remaining Jacobite supporters, Ross Gray and his family fled to America in 1755, settling in what is now known as Scarlet Meadows when the area was occupied by the French. Here, parallel to the Braithwaites, they exploited the prevalent slave labor to build a prosperous agricultural enterprise, misleading the community of Rhodes about their true origins by posing as exiled Jacobites. The slave operations run by both families quickly made the Braithwaites and the Grays some of the wealthiest and most respected people in the region, both with huge properties practically neighboring each other, with the town of Rhodes separating their vast estates. The initial interactions between the two families were cordial and business-oriented, but hidden resentments and greed soon fractured their relations. In 1806, it became clear that not all members of each family supported the slave labor that was used to carry the family businesses to success. As Lucille Braithwaite and Douglas Gray developed a plan to abolish slavery, Lucille disclosed the location of a significant sum of Braithwaite family gold to Douglas Gray, who then, with her secret cooperation, stole the treasure, and then took some of his own family's hidden gold. The couple then used their ill-gotten gains to support abolitionist causes, a noble end that nonetheless began a devastating conflict. As the Braithwaites knew the gold was stolen by Douglas Gray, and the Gray family was left to believe that the Braithwaites had stolen theirs as well, leaving both families thinking they had been robbed by the other, embedding a deep and violent mistrust that would endure for over a century, with each side nursing wounds of perceived injustice and betrayal. The abolition of slavery 59 years later in 1865 dealt a crippling blow to both the Braithwaites and the Grays, stripping them of their wealth and power, yet leaving their thirst for vengeance unquenched. Despite their diminished fortunes, their grip on Scarlet Meadows remained tenacious, their influence reverberating through the corridors of power in Lemoyne. Enter the Vanderland again, a band of outlaws seeking fortune and glory amidst the chaos of the dying frontier. Drawn into the web of intrigue surrounding the Gray-Braithwaite feud, the game becomes entangled in a deadly game of manipulation and deceit in Chapter 3. Fueled by whispers of hidden treasure and ancient vendettas, they navigate the treacherous waters of Rhodes, their actions shaping the fate of both families and the town itself. They plan to play both sides of this family feud until they can get away with both families' fortunes for themselves. Arthur and the gang are quickly granted deputy status by Rhodes Sheriff Lee Gray, where they take down the moonshine operations run by the Braithwaites to supply the Lemoyne Raiders militant group. Shortly after, Hosea attempts to sell the stolen moonshine directly to Catherine Braithwaite, which she does not go for. She instead sends Hosea and Arthur into the town of Rhodes to distribute the alcohol for free in an attempt to hurt the Grays' income. This leads to a shootout between the gang and the Lemoyne Raiders, as the moonshine was originally made to supply them. Hosea gives the rest of the moonshine back to the Braithwaite family for free, and all is good between the gang and the Braithwaites. As tensions reach a boiling point, forbidden love blooms amidst the chaos as Arthur discovers a secret romantic relationship between Beau Gray and Penelope Braithwaite. Defying the enmity that threatens to tear them apart, Arthur Morgan becomes inadvertently entangled in the lovers' plight, helping them deliver love letters to one another. This minor detail is pivotal for several reasons. Mainly, it serves to further expose the player to the family's dirty secrets and the corrupt nature of the regional politics, influenced heavily by these powerful families. The missions involving Beau and Penelope are not just about delivering letters or sneaking around, they are about challenging the status quo and questioning loyalty, themes central to the game's broader narrative. This journey of love also mirrors the larger narrative arcs of other main characters, like Arthur Morgan and John Marston, who each in their ways grapple with personal loyalties and the desire for personal freedom versus responsibilities. Yet even as their love blossoms, the shadows of the past loom large, casting a pall over their fragile union. Their secret relationship will play a bigger part in the family's feud later. As the feud between the Gray and Braithwaite families continued to escalate, the game became increasingly entangled in their hostilities. A pivotal moment occurred when Arthur and the gang met with Tavish Gray, the current patriarch of the Gray family. Unbeknownst to Tavish, his family's foundation was built on duplicity. Tavish himself was even exploiting the ongoing feud for financial gain and tasked the gang with stealing the Braithwaites' prized horses, falsely claiming that the animals could fetch up to $5,000.
And have you met my partner, Arthur Morgan?
No?
I met your son, the sheriff.
Okay.
Mr. Gray here was saying how he had problems with a family of degenerates.
Oh, well, nobody likes degenerates.
That hag and her inbred sons. They ruined this county. They killed my uncle, you know.
That ain't right.
Problem is, we can't be seen to get too close.
And?
We've got gold, Yankee. We've got gold.
I ain't no Yankee, friend. I ain't nothing. My daddy came over on the boat from Scotland.
I'm Scottish.
And the Braithwaites?
Goddamn peasants. I don't know.
This endeavor proved futile, yielding a mere $650, showcasing the desperation and deceit woven into the feud's fabric. In retaliation, Catherine Braithwaite orchestrated a more direct assault. She commissioned the gang to set ablaze the Greys' tobacco fields, an act that not only devastated the Greys' agricultural holdings, but also resulted in a deadly shootout, marking a severe escalation in violence. This fiery encounter underlined the gang's deep involvement in a vendetta that was not originally theirs, manipulated into furthering the destructive cycles of retribution that defined the Gray-Braithwaite feud. By this juncture, the clandestine operations of the Vanderland gang were fully exposed, and both the Greys and Braithwaites were acutely aware of who was stoking the flames of their conflict. The gang's actions, initially intended to leverage the feud for their own gain, specifically the elusive gold rumored to be linked to the families, had inadvertently positioned them as significant players in a deadly game of power and revenge. Both families decided to deal with their problems themselves and lured the gang into Rhodes under the pretense of a straightforward meeting orchestrated by the Greys. Bill assured the group that the meeting was legitimate, but Arthur harbored doubts, sensing the underlying tensions and potential for betrayal. His suspicions proved correct when the supposed peaceable assembly revealed itself as an ambush set by the Greys. This betrayal resulted in a violent shootout in the heart of Rhodes, a pivotal and bloody episode that dramatically shifted the power dynamics within the town. During the chaos, Sean Maguire was tragically killed, a loss that deeply affected the gang and marked a significant turning point in their involvement with the local families. The shootout also led to the deaths of several key members of the Gray family, including Sheriff Lee Gray, who, in his final moments, confessed his full awareness of the gang's identity and their meddlesome presence in Rhodes. This event not only escalated the violence, but also exposed the deep-seated treachery the Greys were willing to employ to protect their interests and strike against those they saw as threats. The gang's response to this betrayal was fueled by both vengeance and the urgent need to reassess their strategies in dealing with both families. The aftermath of this confrontation left the town of Rhodes in turmoil and significantly weakened the Grey family's grip on the area, paving the way for further instability and conflict. At the same time, Catherine Braithwaite has little Jack Marston kidnapped from the gang's camp. This would prove to be the last straw for the gang, as they follow up by raiding the Braithwaite manor in one of the most intense missions in the entire game. This leads to the death of all of Catherine's sons and the torching of the Braithwaite mansion. After losing everything she and her family had worked for, Catherine Braithwaite had to give up Jack's location and confess to the gang she had sent him with Angelo Bronte. The gang sets out once again to finally rescue Jack, where Catherine Braithwaite runs back into her burning mansion and dies. You can later loot her burnt body. The tumultuous saga of the Greys and Braithwaites reaches its climax with the violent events in Rhodes, leading to a significant shift in the power structure of the region. The deadly shootout that resulted in the demise of key figures like Sheriff Lee Gray, coupled with the strategic blows dealt to their operations, drastically diminished the Gray family's control over Rhodes. With Sheriff Gray's death, the family's ability to wield influence over the town's political and economic spheres was severely compromised, signaling a dramatic reduction in their power. Simultaneously, the Braithwaite family suffered catastrophic losses. The attack on their estate not only claimed the lives of most family members, but also led to the physical and financial ruin of their property. The once formidable Braithwaite mansion, a symbol of their wealth and status, was reduced to ashes, encapsulating the downfall of their dynasty. The extensive damage to their estate and the loss of life among the Braithwaites essentially crippled their long-standing dominion in the area. In the end, the gang did not find any gold and moved on to save Jack. As the power and influence of both the Gray and Braithwaite families wane, Penelope Braithwaite makes a desperate bid for freedom, seeking to escape the suffocating legacy of her family's feud with Beau Gray. During the tumultuous events of Chapter 6, Penelope reaches out to Arthur, whose involvement with the families was then deeply personal. She asks for his assistance to break free from the constraints of their family's legacies and start over with Beau. Arthur agrees to help, and their plan to escape involves commandeering a train, which symbolizes a literal and metaphorical journey towards a new beginning. During the escape, Arthur defends Penelope and Beau from attacks by both the Gray and Braithwaite family members, highlighting the depth of the family's animosity that even extends to targeting their own kin for choosing love over loyalty to the feud. As they near their escape, Penelope offers Arthur a family heirloom as payment, a piece Arthur claims represents the Braithwaite treasure. This moment is poignant. The treasure, once thought to be gold or a vast sum of money, is instead a symbolic representation of what Penelope values most, her freedom and the chance for a new life. Arthur's choice to accept or decline the heirloom underscores his role as not just a participant in the family's narratives, but as a potential facilitator of change. Furthermore, the death of Tavish Gray, found on the rear porch of the Gray Manor, further underscores the decline of the families. His death, possibly from shock or despair upon learning his true family history, marks the end of the Gray family's fabricated identity as noble Scottish exiles. With both families' secrets exposed and their leaders gone, the feud that once dominated the landscape of Rhodes and the lives of its residents sputters out, leaving behind a legacy of loss, betrayal, and missed opportunities for redemption. The town of Rhodes begins a period of significant transformation under new leadership. By 1907, a new sheriff, Harmon Thomas, had taken office. The narrative arc of Rhodes, the Greys, and the Braithwaites encapsulates a broader reflection on the themes of redemption, the relentless push of progress, and the possibility of personal and communal rebirth following long periods of strife. As the town of Rhodes moves forward under the guidance of Sheriff Thomas, it serves as a testament to the resilience of communities and the enduring quest for justice and peace in the aftermath of deep-seated conflict. If you made it this far in the video, be sure to leave a comment and let us know what you think. I appreciate you sticking around for the whole video. If you enjoyed, be sure to check out one of the videos on your screen now. Thanks for watching.